that everyone knows by now. And that saying goes, it's 2020. We should be hiring more diverse people. And to that I say, why? Why? Are the diverse people you are hiring qualified, or are they just diverse? And I think we all know the answer to that. The first example I'm going to bring to you is Joe Biden and how everyone is fawning over the fact that he has picked essentially all women for his cabinet, for his elective, for his presidency. And everyone is saying how wonderful that is, how progressive, how forward thinking Joe Biden is. To that I say, are these women qualified? Or do they just have vaginas? Now, I am all for women being employed, disabled people being employed. Employment is a good thing. You have an employed citizenry, your economy works, everything's good. However, if you start hiring people based on physical attributes they can't control, that is a slippery slope you're going down. It's also a horrible way to run a business. Because, and like whether you like it or not, a country is a business. It's just a massive business with massive amounts of components. And you want the best people qualified to run that business. It shouldn't matter whether they have penises or vaginas. It should matter whether their degrees are good, whether their experience in lawmaking, in their knowledge of the Constitution. This is all things that should be topmost in picking a presidential cabinet, not whether or not they have the right body parts. The same goes for disabled actors. I've been seeing a lot of call for Hollywood to hire disabled actors to play disabled roles. Now, that on its face makes sense because, who better to portray a specific disability than someone with that disability? However, you could look for, a disabled, say a deaf person to play a deaf character. And you may find a whole bunch of deaf actors. Great. But what if they're all bad actors? Do you hire the deaf actor anyway, just because they're deaf? Or do you want to hire someone who can act? And I don't just mean act deaf. I mean act like a human. Act normal. And when I say normal, I mean emotionally. I mean physically. I mean, do you want somebody who can portray all of the aspects of a character, or do you just want somebody who can portray one aspect of a character? It's all about that. And if you can find a disabled actor who brings life to a character, brings emotion to a character, awesome. Hire that person. But if you find a disabled person who, they're disabled and that's what you need, but they're wooden, you don't want that. And it doesn't matter if they're disabled, you don't want that. They'll ruin the movie. Not because they're disabled, but because they can't act. And no, I'm not saying all disabled people can't act. What I'm saying is you don't want to hire people based on a physical attribute they can't control, regardless of whether it's a presidential cabinet, a disabled actor, or even just a call center job. Yes, I hated being denied the jobs I applied for because I was blind. But do you know what I would hate equally? Being given a job just because I'm blind. That would make me angry just as much. Because I would want to be recognized for my qualifications, not for my broken body parts. And that is why forced diversity helps absolutely nobody. not the communities that they are trying to benefit, not the other employees who got there on their own merits, not the corporations slash presidential cabinets slash movie slash whatever you happen to be trying to accomplish. Nothing benefits.